Welcome to General Hospital Spoilers, where every secret explodes, every betrayal changes lives, and Port Charles is never safe. Subscribe now for shocking GH spoilers, breaking twists, and all the drama you can't miss. I remember when stories like this used to unfold slowly, building tension over weeks, but right now it feels like the writers are pouring gasoline on the fire, and I cannot look away. Nina saving Brennan changed everything in ways I did not expect, and I find myself rooting for them even when logic tells me their path is filled with danger. When Nina made the choice to stop and help Brennan instead of letting him slip away, she showed a side of herself that I have always believed was there beneath her tough exterior. I have seen Nina fight battles for her family for decades, but this moment felt different. She could have walked away, yet she stayed, revived him, and even arranged to hide him under a false name by bribing the staff. To me, that is not just survival instinct. That is care, real care, whether she admits it or not. Brennan, for his part, now walks around carrying a debt he knows he can never fully repay. I have always thought his character had layers of loyalty beneath the tough spy exterior, and Nina bringing him back from the brink has unlocked that completely. What fascinates me most is how quickly their connection is deepening. I keep asking myself, is this just gratitude on Brennan's side, or is something more tender growing between them? From what I see on screen, it is clearly becoming the latter. After everything Nina has been through with her children and past heartbreaks, she deserves someone who sees her strength and still wants to protect her. Brennan seems ready to do exactly that. He is not just saying thank you. He is preparing to strike back at Drew on her behalf, and that kind of devotion makes my old heart flutter with excitement. The situation with Willow adds even more weight to their alliance. Nina wants to protect her daughter at all costs, and blackmailing Drew feels like a necessary evil in her eyes. I have watched Willow struggle with her identity and her relationships for years, and seeing her caught in the middle again breaks my heart. Drew has shown a darker side lately, and I believe the writers are deliberately turning up the heat on his character. Those insider dealings Brennan is ready to expose could be the key that finally cracks Drew's polished image. I have my own theory here that differs a bit from what some fans online are saying. While many think Drew is simply ambitious, I suspect his obsession runs deeper, almost personal now, especially where Nina and Willow are concerned. This is not just business anymore. It feels like revenge mixed with control, and that makes him far more dangerous than before. Brennan stepping up with those dark secrets about Drew's transactions is a game changer. I can already picture the confrontation scenes, and they are going to be electric. Will Brennan risk his own safety to deliver the final blow? I think yes, and he will do it without hesitation, because Nina gave him another chance at life. That kind of loyalty is rare on soaps these days, and I am here for it. At the same time, I worry about the new troubles this plan will unleash. Attacking Drew directly means opening doors that might be better left closed. What if Drew's response is more ruthless than anyone anticipates? These questions keep me coming back to my television every day, eager to see how the summer stories explode. One thing I truly appreciate about this storyline is how it shows growth in Nina. She has made mistakes in the past, plenty of them, but her determination to secure Willow's future feels like a mother's love at its most fierce. I have always defended Nina when other viewers criticized her choices, and this arc proves I was right to do so. She is not perfect, but she is fighting with everything she has. Brennan recognizes that fire in her, and their budding romance feels earned rather than rushed. I find myself smiling when I see the subtle glances between them. After all the pain Nina has endured, watching her find someone who matches her intensity is pure joy for an old fan like me. Of course, with every high comes the risk of a new low. The escalating conflict around Drew could bring shocking revelations that none of us see coming. I have a feeling those insider dealings are only the beginning. Drew's growing obsession might push him to cross lines that even he once avoided, and that darkness could hurt Willow most of all. Will Nina and Brennan be able to shield her in time? I believe they will, but not without paying a price. That tension is what makes General Hospital so special after all these years. It never lets us get too comfortable. I also love how this story touches on themes of redemption and second chances. Brennan was on the edge of death, and Nina pulled him back. Now he is using that second life to help her family. It reminds me of some of the classic redemption arcs from the 80s and 90s that I still cherish. Modern soap writing sometimes moves too fast, but here it feels right. The emotional payoff is building beautifully. I keep wondering what Brennan might sacrifice personally to make this work. Whatever it is, I suspect it will only bring him closer to Nina, and that possibility excites me more than any explosion or courtroom drama ever could. As someone who has followed these characters through marriages, divorces, births, and losses, I can honestly say this current chapter feels fresh, yet familiar in the best way. Nina and Brennan together represent hope amid the chaos. They are two strong personalities who understand each other's flaws and still choose to stand side by side. That kind of partnership is rare and worth celebrating. I have told my friends who also watch that they should not miss a single episode right now because the momentum is incredible. Looking ahead, I am convinced more shocks are coming. Drew's reaction to being cornered could reveal secrets that shake Port Charles to its core. Will Willow finally break free from the manipulations surrounding her? Can Nina trust Brennan completely with her heart and her family's safety? These questions linger in my mind long after the credits roll, and that is exactly why I have stayed loyal to General Hospital for decades. The writers know how to keep us invested, balancing romance, danger, and family drama perfectly. Brennan has made it clear in his actions that he wants to help Nina and Willow neutralize Drew permanently. This goes far beyond simple financial matters or temporary setbacks. He is talking about ending Drew's influence once and for all, cutting off the threat at its source so that Willow can finally live without fear. I have watched Brennan operate in the shadows for some time, and I always sensed he possessed a strong moral code beneath his professional detachment. Nina giving him another chance at life has awakened that code fully. He feels an unshakable debt to her, and that debt drives him forward even when the risks are enormous. I admire how Brennan is willing to accept major risks and personal sacrifices to achieve this goal. He knows that confronting Drew on this level could cost him everything he has rebuilt, yet he still chooses to move ahead. To me, that speaks volumes about his character. In my long years of watching the show, I have seen many men make promises in the heat of the moment, but few follow through with the kind of conviction Brennan is showing. Nina saved him when she could have walked away, and now he is determined to repay that gift by securing safety for the people she loves most. It is a beautiful kind of loyalty that reminds me of the classic romances that made me fall in love with General Hospital in the first place. Of course, repaying Nina does not have to be only about strategy and danger. There is another way their story is unfolding, one that feels warmer and more intimate with every episode. Their romance has been progressing beautifully since the day she pulled him back from the brink. The chemistry between them crackles on screen, and I find myself smiling at the subtle glances and protective gestures they exchange. Brennan is clearly developing deep feelings, and Nina, despite her usual caution, seems to be opening her heart in return. I keep asking myself whether this connection can survive the storm they are about to create, and my heart tells me yes. They understand each other's scars. That kind of understanding is rare and precious. As their bond deepens, I believe we will see Brennan respond to Nina with passionate gestures that go beyond words. He may not be the type for grand public declarations, but in quiet moments his devotion will shine through. Perhaps a tender reassurance after a difficult day or a willingness to stand beside her no matter the cost. These small but meaningful acts are what make soap operas so addictive for someone like me who has followed the show through generations of love stories. Nina deserves someone who sees her strength and still wants to cherish her, and Brennan seems ready to be exactly that man. What excites me most right now is the idea that Brennan and Nina are becoming a new power couple in Port Charles. They complement each other perfectly. Her determination and emotional intelligence, combined with his strategic mind and willingness to take bold action, create a formidable team. This development feels fresh and necessary. For too long, Nina has fought many of her battles alone. Now she has a true partner who shares her vision for protecting Willow and building something real. I have my own theory that this alliance will reshape the balance of power in unexpected ways. While some viewers might worry it moves too quickly, I see it as a natural progression, born from life and death circumstances. Trauma often forges strong connections, and their story proves that beautifully. This power couple dynamic is already creating ripples that affect Drew in profound ways. Drew's final obsession with control is heading toward a major explosion, and I cannot wait to see how it plays out. He has grown increasingly dark in recent months, and the threat posed by Brennan and Nina seems to be pushing him to his limits. I have always believed Drew was capable of more than he showed on the surface, but even I am surprised by the intensity of his current path. The adjustments happening around him feel like the calm before a storm. Will his obsession lead him to make a fatal mistake? I think the answer is yes, and Brennan and Nina will be there to capitalize on it. One of the things I appreciate most about this storyline is how it balances high-stakes drama with genuine emotion. Brennan's sacrifices are not just plot devices. They come from a place of real gratitude and affection. Nina, in turn, is learning to trust again after so many disappointments. Watching them grow closer while preparing to take down a common enemy creates a delicious tension that keeps me glued to every episode. I often find myself wondering aloud to my husband whether their romance will blossom fully before the final confrontation, or if they will have to fight for their happiness every step of the way. Either outcome promises to be deeply satisfying. As an older viewer who has seen countless cycles of love and revenge on this show, I believe this chapter stands out because it feels earned. Nina's act of saving Brennan was not calculated. It was instinctive. And that authenticity has sparked something real between them. Their emerging power couple status is not about domination, but about protection, family, and second chances. Drew's looming explosion will test them, but I am confident they will emerge stronger. The writers are building something special here, mixing danger with desire in a way that feels classic yet modern. I am genuinely thrilled about the chapters still to come. Brennan and Nina, standing united against Drew's final obsession, creates a narrative rich with possibilities. Will they succeed in neutralizing him for good? How deep will their romance grow in the process? These questions fill me with anticipation every afternoon when I sit down to watch. For a fan who has invested so many years in these characters, seeing Nina find strength and love in Brennan's arms is incredibly rewarding. Their story reminds me why I have never stopped watching General Hospital. Even after all this time, the show still knows how to make my heart race and my hopes soar.